Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are reviewing this pen. This is the Pentel Tradio fountain pen. Now, there's a couple of versions of the Tradio fountain pen. One that is that sort of plastic nibbed version, and this one which is the metal nibbed version, which is what I really wanted to look at. So during university, I used the rollable or Energel version of the Tradio a lot. And when I saw this fountain pen version, which somehow had I'd managed to avoid up until now, I had to get it. And I really wanted to share it with you all here. So we're going to talk about the parts and features, do a writing sample and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you watched my Colt Pens unboxing haul video from earlier in the year, I think it was in early January, you would have seen me unbox this pen. And I have been using it ever since. It's great. So, yes, go back, watch that video, see the other things I got. Really interesting. But top of this pen is a simple plastic sort of a dome. Most of this pen body is plastic. It's got a plastic clip that's part of that. You can see here there are two little cutouts on the side of the cap which allow you to see the nib. That's where the sticker was. That's sort of basically worn off now. Yep. The cap swells through to this sort of a faux metal sort of center band, then the body tapers down, little sort of dip, and then we get where the pen posts onto the end, and it posts very securely. It is a snap cap pen, and it's nice and secure. As I said, it posts quite well, and reveals this nice long tapered section, and then a smaller steel nib there, and a plastic feed. The nib is simply labeled Iridium Point Pentel. It's sold as a medium, but I've got no more information other than that. I would probably suggest it might be Schmidt, something like that. It is a cartridge converter pen, and while the pen wasn't provided with a converter, it was just provided with a cartridge, a long Pentel ink cartridge. At the moment, I have it with a standard international cartridge in there that is been refilled with Lamy black ink. So that's sort of what I do. I refill these ink cartridges for pens that don't have converters. Get a good capacity and all that kind of stuff, and it stops, a little bit of wastage of some plastic materials. And that is the basics of the pen. It's a very simple pen. It's not an expensive pen. This retails for around 30 Australian dollars. So it puts it in a pretty reasonable price point. It's not a fancy pen, but it is a very reliable, very good pen. I've had no issues with this from the moment I got it, from writing, sort of after not being used for a few weeks. Not an issue. It's a very, very nice writer. But let's now look at size comparison. So I have it here today alongside a Lamy Safari as well as the Pentel Sterling. I'm filming both of these at around the same sort of time. Not sure which will be loaded first, but yes, Pentel Sterling and Pentel Tradio here. The Tradio is a bigger pen. The Sterling is a metal pen, but it is slimmer and smaller. Plastic, larger pen, which is about the same size there as a Lamy Safari. Uncapped once again, it holds its own against the Lamy Safari, both in terms of girth and in terms of length, and is longer and wider there than the Sterling. When it's posted, the Lamy comes out a little bit longer, but I think the Pentel posts really, really well. It's a very comfortable pen. It posts nicely. It's a really decent pen, especially at that price point. So what are the specific dimensions of the Pentel Tradio fountain pen? Well, it is 142 millimeters when it is capped. It's 131 when it's uncapped, making it a decent length in the hand. And it's 160 when it's posted. Really comfortable length, really lightweight. The entire pen weighs 15 grams, 10 in the body, 5 in the cap, so you're not really putting too much weight there on the back. And it's a nice width pen with a 10 millimeter section and a roughly 14 millimeter cap. So it's got good size in the hand, but it's very lightweight. Because of that, it's quite a convenient little pen that isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg, but you get something that writes really consistently. Okay, let's now do a writing sample with the Pentel Tradio fountain pen with a medium steel nib, and the ink in this today is Lamy black. I worked my way through the, I think it was a blue from memory, a blue Pentel cartridge that came with the pen. it didn't feel like it was the strongest cartridge, so I just refilled a standard international one with Lamy Black there, as you can see. Let's do some writing. It writes super consistently, super well. You know, you get a little bit of line variation out of it if you give it a gentle push. It's definitely wet enough. Reverse writing is very dry, very dry and quite scratchy, not the best there. Fast writing, as I said, I've had no issues here. It's a consistent writer. It's got good flow. I've never had any issues with like ink starvation or drying out or hard starts or skipping. It's just a really simple, reliable sort of everyday writer pen, as I said, and at a price point, 30 Australian dollars, that makes it a pretty decent offer at this price. So what are the pros and cons of this plastic-bodied fountain pen? Well, plastic-bodied leads me into the cons, and it's not a con for me necessarily, but it might be for some people. And that is that this is a very lightweight plastic fountain pen. The plastic feels lightweight. I could probably break this quite easily just with my hands. I won't because I quite like the pen, but I probably could. It's not the kind of pen you want to step on or run over with your car or anything like that. It is a very lightweight plastic. And also another con, it didn't come with a converter. At this price, there are pens that do come with converters and there are pens that don't come with converters. I kind of wish that more pens did, but there are lots and lots of pros for this pen. The big ones are that beautiful nib. It writes so smoothly and generously and consistently and reliably. It makes it such a great writer. I love the size of this pen. It's really comfortable. While it's not a particularly thick section, it's a nice long section and there's a nice sort of girth to the pen, so it feels like you're holding a proper pen in your hand. It's not, even though this is like kind of like a next level of those stationery store fountain pens you might get in like a plastic blister pack or something like that, just on a little rail somewhere. It doesn't feel like that necessarily in your hand. It feels really good, like surprisingly great. I also really like the balance because it's a lightweight pen and there's not a whole lot of weight in that cap. I do miss a little bit of weight just maybe down in the grip section, but because it is lightweight, I don't feel any fatigue from using it or anything like that. The balance is very good. And of course, that price, 30 Australian dollars for a pen that writes this well and wrote this well from day one. I had it sitting on my desk in my pen cup tray thing at times for a couple of weeks without being used. When I've been on the road and things like that, no issues, just wrote first time, always there. I've really enjoyed using this pen, the Pentel Tradio fountain pen. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you for your support of the channel. It's your support that actually helps me, to purchase items like this. So I am very grateful. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there is a way you'd like to support the channel, I would really love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.